Chef Tony Matassa for BarbecueGuys.com. Today I'd like to show you how to make an almond encrusted salmon with lemon cream. To do so, I'll be using the Grill Dome Kamado style cooker. Got it very good and hot, preheated. You need it when you're searing some kind of fish. You want to try to get your grill up above 500 degrees so that you don't want to have it on there for a really long time. Now the first thing we're going to do is prepare the sauce because it takes a while, and we'll take it off the grill and we'll get down to the fish portion of the recipe. You need 3/4 of a cup of dry white wine, the juice from 1 lemon, a 1/2 teaspoon of fresh rosemary, finely chopped. And I'm going to bring all of this to a boil for about 2 to 3 minutes and let it reduce a little bit, about half. Once you've brought your lemon juice and white wine to a boil and let it reduce about halfway, you'll add the rest of your ingredients except for the butter. And the rest of these ingredients are 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper, 1.5 teaspoons of kosher or sea salt, a pinch of fresh grated nutmeg, and a teaspoon of black pepper with 3 tablespoons of heavy cream. You can add all of this, and all you have to do with this, you want to heat it up and reduce the cream a little bit less than half, just a little bit. So you're not talking about a lot of time, just a few more minutes. And you can swirl it all around. You don't really need to whisk it or anything. You just want to kind of incorporate it and cook it down a little bit, or really just kind of heat it up a little bit. Once your sauce is reduced a little bit, it's time to add your butter in a little bit at a time. The reason for that, you don't want to drop the temperature too drastically. You want it just enough to melt the butter because you don't want to clarify it. You don't want it to separate on you. You want it to actually melt this sauce so that you have a nice sauce. The sauce is just finishing up. I want to show you the consistency. I believe you'll be able to see it. You can see how it's very heavy and creamy. With our sauce made, it's time to get to the good part, the salmon. You need about 1 cup or 2 of flour. Not very precise, you're just doing a little dredging, so I think that was about 2 cups. So it's about 1 cup in there and 1 cup here. So you really only need about 1 cup, at least for 2 fillets. Now, if you're gonna do, say 4, which you could probably, the sauce could do between 2 and 4. I like to do everything for 2 since nowadays a lot of people end up cooking for themselves and most recipes are 4 and 5 portions. There's not much you can do with that, so I try to keep it on a small scale, and you can always double it. It makes it a lot easier. All right, you want to season your flour up. I just put a little pepper and salt. If this were just for me, I would probably put a little cayenne pepper too. I'm just a big fan. But today we'll just do a little salt and pepper. You will need an egg wash. This is 1 egg and then about as much liquid in volume as the egg takes up. Whisk that together. This is about 1/4 cup of, they started out as sliced almonds, and then you chop them up with your knife so that they're in between sliced and almond meal. You don't want it to be really, really fine. You don't want it powdery, but the big slices, they'll be too big as well. The zest of 1 lemon. And about 2 teaspoons of fresh sage, finely chopped. With just a little bit of salt and pepper on your fillets. Just like that. So you'll dredge it in the flour first. Make sure it's pretty good and coated. This is just to help the almond mixture stick. I'll go in the egg wash. Then you'll lay one side down, pat it out pretty firmly, pick it up. You do wet hand, dry hand. Don't those look great? Time to get them on the grill. You need to make sure, as I've said plenty of times, your grill needs to be good and hot. And when you're doing fish, you need to make sure, you probably should always do it, I always do, but especially with fish, you need to make sure that you rub some sort of vegetable oil on your grates before sticking the fish on. I tell you what, if my buddy Eric doesn't show up pretty soon, I'm going to eat both of these fillets, and he'll have to eat fast food for lunch. With salmon, you're only going to need a few minutes on each side. So after 3 or 4 minutes, you want to go ahead and turn them. You got to be very gentle with salmon. There we go. Almond encrusted salmon topped with lemon cream. I don't think you can beat that for dinner for only spending about 25, I would say max 30 minutes in the kitchen. Thank you for watching today. And I'd like to thank the Grill Dome. It cooks excellent fish. It cooks everything excellent. But my buddy Eric just showed up, so I've got lunch to eat. I can't really stick around. When I'm done with lunch, I'll come back and we'll cook something else. Remember, at barbecueguys.com, we smoke the competition.